Welcome back to the channel. So in this session, we're going to be doing algebra again, but in doing algebra, we're going to be looking at slightly a different topic, but we're going to have to apply some of the things that we learned on the other videos. So we're going to be, sorry for that, let's change the pen. We're going to be removing brackets and simplifying equations. So that is just what we're going to be doing today. So we're going to be going deep into the equations and just enjoying ourselves and learning at the same time. So I have a couple of equations that I'm going to be expanding with you here. So like example number 1 is going to be fairly simple. So I have 2 so this is what we're going to be expanding. So when you're going to be expanding, it's simple. So we're going to take x and 1, and these are going to be multiplying the other component that we have here. So what this essentially means is that we're going to have x multiplying x plus 3. Then since this is a positive, since this is a positive here, we're going to have plus 1 multiplying x plus 3. So that is how you expand, or that is how you remove brackets. And after you've done that, you are now able to start up multiplying what is inside the brackets by what is outside, term by term. So you're going to multiply these two, the variable and the number, by what is outside, what is in red here. So that is going to be multiplying these that we have inside. So we're going to have x multiplying x, and we're going to have x multiplying 3. We're going to have 1 multiplying x, and we're going to have 1 multiplying 3. So what this gives us then is x times x is x squared plus 3 times x, that becomes 3x. Then we're going to add this to whatever we get on the other side. 1 times x, that is just x. Then 1 times 3, that is 3. And when we are here now, we could go ahead and collect like terms. This is x, and that is another x there. So we have 3 x's here and 1 x there. So we collect those. And when we collect them, we're going to have x squared plus 4x plus 3. So that is the expansion of the equation that we had at the beginning right there. So that is the first example that we dealt with. So now let's look at example number 2. So example number 2 is also going to be relatively simple and straightforward. So example number 2 is going to be x minus 3 multiplying x minus 2. So we go through the same process that we did in the first example. So we're going to have this and that multiplying this whole thing. So what this ultimately leads us to is x multiplying that whole part that we had there. Then since here we have a negative, this becomes minus 3. Then we multiply this whole. So afterwards we continue with the expansion that becomes x times x. This becomes x squared. Then x times negative 2, that's minus 2x. Then negative 3 times x, that becomes negative 3x. Then negative 3 times negative 2, that becomes positive 6. And we go ahead and collect the like terms. Then after collecting the like terms, we have x squared minus 5x plus 6. And we're done with that example. So this is fairly simple and straightforward. And I believe that you're also going to find it to be that fairly simple and straightforward. So we're going to take this slightly a notch higher. So look at something that is a bit different and slightly difficult, but we are applying the same process to whatever we're going to be having here. So that is another example. So we are still expanding, and we are still expanding what we have here. So ideally, if you have something of this sort, what I would advise you to do is to, first of all, deal with either the first two or, so deal with the first two. So we are going to deal with the first two that we have. So we're going to multiply. We're going to deal with these ones here. That is what we're going to deal with. Then after we deal with those, we're going to deal with the next one. So now, on dealing with the first two, 2x multiplying 2x is going to give you 4x squared. Then 2x multiplying negative 1, that is going to become minus 2x. Then all of these things is just one part. You keep it in the bracket. Then you have 2x plus 1. Then after this, now you do the very same thing that you've been doing. This and that are going to multiply this whole part here. So this becomes 4x squared. I shouldn't have used green to write, but since we've already done it, let's continue with that. Plus 1. And then we're going to have minus 2x multiplying 2x plus 1. Then when you do that, you're going to have 4x multiplying 2, that becomes 8 x cubed, that is 4x squared multiplying 2x. So this becomes cubed, 8 x cubed. Then 4x squared multiplying 1, that becomes just 4x squared. Then minus 2x multiplying 2x, that becomes minus 4x squared. Then minus 2x multiplying just 1, that becomes minus 2x. Then just like we did in the earlier examples, we're going to be collecting like terms. These are like terms here. So since they are like terms, this is the same number they're going to give us 0. So we're going to be left with x8. That's just for highlighting. We're going to be left with 8x cubed. This gives us just 0. Then minus 2x, that is going to be like the expansion that we're going to be left with here. So let's do one more example so that we could ensure that we really understand what we are doing at this particular point. So that is going to be, I think, example number 4. So example number 4 is going to be 3y multiplying y minus 2 multiplying y plus 3. So on doing that, what we're going to do again is the same process that we had. We deal with the first two components. Then after dealing with the first two components, we're going to proceed to dealing with the remaining components. So 3y multiplying y, that becomes 3y squared. Blue is for highlighting, let's use black. That becomes 3y squared. Then 3y multiplying minus 2, that becomes minus 6y. And what we have here is going to be multiplying y plus 3. So like we did earlier, this and that are going to be multiplying this whole thing here. And on multiplying the whole thing that we have there, we're going to proceed to have 3y squared multiplying y plus 3, and we're going to have minus 6y multiplying y plus 3, and we're going to expand our brackets from here. So 3y squared multiplying y, that becomes 3y cubed, then 3y squared times 3, that is going to become 9y squared, then minus 6y multiplying y, that becomes minus 6y squared, then minus 6y multiplying 3, that becomes minus 6y. So what we're going to do here, to go forward, we're going to collect the like terms at the center there. Then on collecting the like terms, you're going to be left with 3y cubed, then 9y squared minus 6y squared, you're going to be left with 3y squared minus 6y. And when you are here, you are home and dry. So you are done with that one. So to proceed on to the next example, before we take this another notch up, so that is going to be, I think, example number 5. Example number 5 is going to be also fairly simple. That is going to be 3z multiplying a plus 2m multiplying a minus m. So what we're going to do again, we start with these two. We're going to expand them alone. Then from there, we're going to multiply what we have them with the remainder of the components here. So 3z multiplying a, that is going to be 3az plus 3 times 2, that is 6z times m, that is going to be 6mz. And we put that in the brackets, then it's going to multiply a minus m. So the same process that we've been doing, this and that are going to multiply this whole thing here. So on doing that, we're going to have 3az multiplying a minus m. Then we're going to add this to 6mz multiplying a minus m. So on doing that, we are going to have 3a squared. When we get 3az multiplying a, 3a squared z minus 3a mz. When you multiply 3az by negative m, then we're going to add that to 6mz multiplying a, that becomes 6a mz. Then when we multiply 6mz by the negative m, we're going to be left with minus 6m squared z. And even here, we still have to collect like terms. This and that are like terms. And since they are like terms, we're going to have to collect them. So this becomes 3 that becomes 3a squared z, then minus 3amz plus 6amz, that gives us just 3amz minus 6m squared z. And that is just that example that we have there. But we still have like furthermore examples to do, some nice stuff to expand and look into, and I hope you're going to also enjoy those are the examples that we're going to be doing here. So example number 6 that we're going to be doing here is y minus 3 everything squared minus y plus 2 and everything squared. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to remind you the expansion. So if it's squared, it means two things. Like let's just use a different color. So let's use red here. So a plus b squared, this is equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. And you're possibly asking yourself, how did we get here? And you know what, a plus b whole squared is equal to a plus b multiplying a plus b. That is what is equals to. Then when it's this way, we use the same techniques that we've been using there. So a is going to multiply that. That is going to be a multiplying a plus b. Then we're going to be having plus b multiplying a plus b. Then you expand what you have here. You're going to have a times a, that is a squared. Then you're going to have a times b, that is going to be ab. Then here you're going to have b multiplying a, that is just ab. Then here you're going to have b multiplying b, that is just going to be b squared. And when you collect these like terms, you're going to have a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So we're going to just apply this formula when we get there without having to expand it the way we've been expanding it with the other ones. So now what we're going to have here, so when you're expanding this here, you're going to have y squared minus, so from the equation is 2ab, a is y, then b is negative 3. So that is going to be minus 6y, then b is just your minus 3, then minus 3, or maybe let me just show it here so that you could see what is happening. That becomes minus 3 times y. Then here we are going to have just plus negative 3 squared. Then this is going to be minus, this whole thing also is going to be y squared. So we put that in brackets, plus 4y. So here we forgot to, that is 2ab, so this is just supposed to be multiplied by 2 here. Yeah, then we are going to be having just 4 on the other side, which is 2 squared, and this becomes y squared minus 6y plus 9 minus everything here is going to be multiplied by a negative. Everything in here is going to be multiplied by this negative here. So it becomes minus y squared minus 4y minus 4. Then from there, we are going to be having to collect like terms. This and that are like terms. So this becomes y squared minus y squared. And from there, we have this and that are like terms.
The following program is sponsored in part by friends and partners.
Sorry for that. So we're going to have these two like terms here. So that is going to be minus 6y minus 4y. Those are the like terms that we had there. Then we're going to have the other like terms, which is that and that. So they're going to give us 9 minus 4. So this, they give us 0, y minus y gives you 0. Then minus 6y minus 4y is going to give you minus 10y. Then 9 minus 4 is going to give you minus 5. So that is your answer right there. So this one was slightly difficult, but just work your way through it, and you're going to understand what is happening right there. So let's do another similar example to the one that we had then, but I guess I'm going to do it with more simplified method without having to use the expansion that I had on my right there. So this is going to be example number 7. So example number 7 is going to be 2x plus 1 everything squared minus x plus 3 everything squared. So we're going to just do it with the simplified method. So you choose which one you want to use. So we have 2x plus 1 and 2x plus 1. So that is what the squared sign means, minus x plus 3, then becomes x plus 3. So that is what the squared sign means. So we just expand these. That becomes 2x multiplying 2x plus 1, then we're going to have 1 multiplying 2x plus 1, then we're going to have minus. So multiplying, we do the same expansion this side. So let's just have a big bracket here. Then we have x multiplying x plus 3. Then we have 3 multiplying x plus 3. Then we have another big bracket here. So we're going to expand 2x multiplying 2x, that becomes 4x squared. Then 2x multiplying 1, that becomes just 2x. Then 1 multiplying 2x is just 2x. 1 multiplying 1 is 1. Then minus everything that is on the big bracket is going to be expanded. Then x times x becomes x squared. Then x times 3 just becomes 3x. Then 3 times x, that becomes 3x. Then 3 times 3 just gives you 9. So what we're going to do here, we are going to collect like terms here. That becomes 4x squared plus 4x plus 1. Then we're going to be subtracting what is inside there. So we have x squared. Then we collect these like terms. That becomes 6x plus 9. Then from here, we're going to open up the brackets. We're going to have 4x squared plus 4x plus 1 minus x squared minus 6x minus 9. So when you multiply everything that is inside the brackets by the negative sign, that is what we're going to be getting there. So from here, we're going to proceed to collecting like terms. So the first like terms are the x squared like terms. So we're going to collect them. That becomes 4x squared minus x squared. Then from there, we're going to collect the next like terms, which are going to be the x like terms, these ones here. So that is going to be 4x minus 6x. So these are the like terms that we're talking about. Then we're going to take the other like terms, these ones here. So that is going to be plus 1 minus 9. That is another pair of like terms. Then we simplify it here. 4x squared minus x squared, that gives you 3x squared. Then 4x minus 6x, it gives you minus 2x. Then 1 minus 9, it gives you minus 8. And that is what you're going to be having at the end of the day. And right there, that is going to be just the end of our tutorial, and I hope you enjoyed it.